let's move on to the next section of the animation. The majority of this lesson and the next lesson will focus on the fall of the weight, and afterwards we'll go back and do the main fixes for the upper body. But for right now, we're just going to do some minor modifications as far as the upper body goes. So let's get to that. We can adjust our range slider some, a bit more, and we're almost at the end. What we'll also do, what we want to work on now is having the character hold the weight for a little bit longer. Okay, because we're going to have the character hold that weight for enough time where he can show off what he's done and then quickly drop the weight due to his exhaustion. So we want to go ahead and bring back our control curves, and what we'll do is select all of our controls. Let's get them selected, and we're going to have a moving hold. And let's go to about frame 308, and let's have our moving hold at about, let's say at about frame 328. So at 328 we'll just press Shift W and Shift E to have our moving hold here. And notice we still get some slight movement, but something we also get is the arms moving when they shouldn't be moving at all at about this time. So on frame 328, let's fix that. We'll go to our IK/FK controls. Let's select them both, the wrist controls, and then in the IK/FK switch we'll put in a value of 0, and notice the hands stay on the bar. Then we'll go to our arm IK controls, because notice the bar lock channel needs to be adjusted as well. So in the bar lock channel, let's put in a value of 10 to make it absolute there as well. And notice we get some nice subtlety if we hit play from here. Okay, and then the character drops the weight afterwards. Something we also need to adjust is this last pose here on frame 344. Let's move it back some so we can give our character enough time to not only hold the weight, but then enough time to drop the weight on the floor and go into his victory stance. So we can deselect our control curves and actually bring up our character set. Let's bring that up. Then we can adjust our range slider some to focus on this last area. So we'll bring it all the way to our end time. And let's select this last pose here on frame 344, and let's move it back some. Let's move it back to about, how about to 356, okay? So the character is going to hold the weight, drop the weight, then there's going to be some follow through in his arms and in his body, and then he's going to go into his victory pose. Great. So when we've got these things adjusted, we've got a pretty nice moving hold if we hit play. Okay, we can see that. And again, remember, we will add a little bit more movement to the upper body based off of the steps, but for now that's pretty good. So the character throws the weight down, and once we've done these tweaks, we can now begin to work on the barbell fall. Let's work on getting that hit in the floor and creating a nice impact. So we'll hide our character set. We'll turn that off. And remember, we want to select the barbell control, and let's figure out where we want it to fall. We'll also get our perspective and graph view involved here and get a little bit better view of our curve. Okay, so let's if we hit play from here and back up our camera, we can see that the barbell's falling way too slow. And that's a pretty heavy object, so we want to definitely have that fall faster than it is right now. So let's keep it in mind the weight of the object and gravity as well. Let's have it fall at, let's say we have a fall at about frame 342. So on 342, we'll go ahead and translate the barbell down some. Let's go into our perspective so we can see it a little bit clearer. And be mindful of the floor. We don't want it interpenetrating with the floor. A tiny little bit is fine if anything, but avoid it if you can. Alright, so we have it touching the floor, and let's even move it up some. Even though the character's going to step back to dodge the weight, we still want to, he is going to be dropping it, so it's going to fall a little bit further away from him. So about there. So if we hit play, here's the fall we get. Okay, so that's better. But we do need to adjust the tangency to show better weight. Okay, so let's hit spacebar to go back into our perspective and graph view. And we just want to focus on the translate Y right now. And remember, to show the gravity, what we want to do is select the key in which the barbell lands on frame 342, we'll break the tangency, select the left half of the tangent handle, and middle mouse button click and drag up so we get more of a curve like this. Great. Now watch what we get when we hit play. Now that barbell is showing a better weight. But this would be a great time to play blast so we can really see our results rather than relying on our workspace. So let's find a nice view where we're going to see that weight from. I think about here would be fine. And start off a render. Here it is. Super, there's our barbell fall. And that completes this lesson. Now I'm just playing. We definitely need to have some more movement in there. We need to show some bounce, some better weight. Okay. Well, for right now we've got a good fall, but it still may look awkward because of the fact that it's missing the bounce that it would have. So we need to add that. We'll go ahead and close this out and bring back our control curves. We'll select our barbell control. Also go back to our perspective and graph view. Let's do that because we'll want to focus on it during this process. Okay, so we need to have some more bounce in our weight. So what we'll do next is just that, make the barbell bounce up. So let's focus in a little bit more on our translate Y F curve. And let's have the barbell bounce up at about frame 348. And another thing that really helps when doing this is, of course, rhythm. We don't want to leave that out. We're looking more for a boom, boom, boom. That's the about the rhythm that we're gonna have with this weight. But here's what happens with this tweak that we have. So we just want to raise the barbell up a little bit on frame 348. But if we hit play, that's what we get. Boom! It bounces up and then comes back down. Hey, but it still needs to be fixed to show some weight in the bounce. So again, we'll go ahead and select this time the right half of the tangent handle on frame 342 and we'll move it up like that to again show the impact that the weight's having on the floor. So it bounces up, and we're not going to only have it bounce in the Y, we're going to have it tilt to the Z to make it look more natural as what would happen. So let's work on the rotate Z movement. Okay, so we'll go to our F curve and notice how we do need a key where the barbell does fall because we're missing that key on the rotate Z. If we were to just have it rotate a little bit on, it would the movement would look weird. The weight would start rotating from 328 when it shouldn't be. So we'll have it rotating from 342 on. So let's go ahead and put a key there on 342 of the rotate Z. And we want to focus on that, the translate Z and the translate Y for now. So it bounces, and let's have it tilt on, let's have it tilt on about frame 352. So on 352, we'll go ahead and rotate the weight in the direction like that, so that it's tilting to the character's right. And we'll want it to be impacting the floor, so we'll also put a translate key, translate it down some. And it's kind of going through the floor there, so we can just adjust the rotate Z like so. So it's not interpenetrating with the floor. Awesome. So here's what we get. It bounces, bam. And the rhythm right now, if we did it, it'd be boom, boom. Well, it's just boom, boom right now. But we need to add those other hits. But we're making good progress right now. The weight hits the floor, bounces up, then tilts to the character's right. And now we want to have it tilt to the other direction. But that completes this lesson. In the next lesson, we'll just get to that and actually finish the barbell fall.